Hey friends, Lazy Worm here today, and I've run out of video topics for the week, so I figured we will just have a random topic Saturday instead of a random topic Tuesday. At any rate, the idea that I had here, and I've kind of been toying with in my mind, is the ability to put Adept mods onto crafted weapons. Now, I know a lot of people are like, wait, what? No, that wouldn't work. That would work great, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sure everybody has a stance on it. And I don't really have a stance on it. I figured we talk about the pros and cons of each side. So let's talk about it, I guess. The idea came from, I don't even know. I was thinking about it last night. I was actually using this different times right here that you see in the background, which has terrible stats. It's a really good feeling weapon, but it has terrible stats. And I was wishing I could get like an Adept range mod or something on it. But I was doing that. And so I decided, hey, like, why not have a discussion about it? Because like I said, there's pros and there's cons. Basically, the idea here would be that once you hit a certain level with X weapon, you know, so take, for example, Forbearance. You know, if you love Forbearance from Vow of the Disciple and you use it a lot, you should be able to put a Adept mod on it, right? The crafted version. Okay. And I you know, there, like I said, the arguments are for or against it, and we'll talk about both of those here in just a second. But the idea is, you know, maybe you get it to a certain level, blah blah blah, then okay, now you can put on your Adept mod or whatever. Okay, let's talk about the pros first. Pro number one, you could have it set up so that not every single crafted weapon can get the ability to have on these Adept mods, right? The reality of it is nobody uses all of their crafted weapons, right? Every single one of us that's watching this video, if we have crafted weapons, we have certain ones that we like. For example, Forbearance. I use that one because I like Forbearance a lot. It's a very, very good weapon. I like Different Times here a lot, but not as much as Forbearance. I've used Forbearance a lot more than I've used Different Times. I've used Forbearance, I think, I think it's the second most used crafted weapon I have. The first one being the Trustee, because I love Trustee. But whenever I hit, say, you know, level 100, okay, not some, you know, level 30 or anything like that. Like, we need some serious time commitment into a weapon. So level 100, then I have the ability to slot in Adept mods or make it an Adept weapon or something like that. And I think this would be completely okay because, like I said, number one, players, they're not using every single gun. It's not like you can just go get, you know, every single gun, get it to level 100 and you know, have an absolute blast with all these Adept mods. It takes time and commitment to get there, right? And with time and commitment, you should be able to get the stat boosts or the damage boosts that come with Adept mods, okay? And I'm thinking mainly of, like, you know, weapons, for example, like Different Times here. Different Times does not have an Adept version, right? It is literally just a craftable pulse rifle, right? Now, if you take something like the raid weapons, for example, you know, oh, well, that would, you know, Vow of the Disciple. You can craft the regular versions, or you can go and do the master mode and get the Adept versions. And I think that there is a way Bungie could potentially balance out, you know, doing master raids, basically. Because, of course, there would be no point in doing master raids if you could at some point get Adept mods on your crafted weapons. However, I think that there is a way that Bungie can do it. So let's talk about how Bungie could potentially do it. Quite simply, when you get an Adept weapon drop, give it 2 perks in the third and fourth column, right? And I think that's what is it? I think that Vault of Glass does that. Right, I think Vault of Glass gives you the option to switch between 2 perks, so players would still want to chase their, you know, their 9 out of 9 god roll, right? You know, with the 2 best barrel options, the 2 best mag options, the 2 best third column perks, and the 2 best fourth column perks or whatever. But you know, I think players would still chase after those. You could also potentially give Adept weapons just higher base stats as well. You know, say we had like a Adept Fatebringer versus non-Adept. You know, non-Adept Fatebringer has, I don't know what's range, but this is a random number I'm pulling out here, but let's say non-Adept has 60 range, right? The Adept version could have a flat 65 range, you know, +5 to basically every stat on the weapon except for impact, right? I think that would be a pretty neat way they could balance out Adept weapons, because again, that would make Adept weapons something that people want to chase, and especially something like the Rooted Nightmares weapons. Like, think about like Rufus's Fury, right? You get an adept version of it. Then you get I don't know, Demolitionist, Paracausal Affinity in one, and then whatever the PvP god roll is as your other like perk potential, right? Then you could slap on your Adept mods. Not only that, but its base stats outside of impact are all +5 higher than regular Rufus's Fury. That would turn Adept's like rating into a huge deal. That would make Adept really, like, doing master raids like a big deal, and it would make it, quite frankly, just a ton of fun, right? Because it's like, hey, I got this Rufus's Fury that is literally all around better than the crafted one that I have, right? And especially now that you can upgrade the Adept weapons perks to be enhanced, there would still be a level of RNG, because of course, you know, RNG is important in Destiny 2, right? But I think it would also give players the ability to have a goal to set for a weapon. You know, if you like different times a lot, you could sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to grind out different times. I'm going to get my perfect roll. I cannot believe I just avoided that thunder crash. Wow. You can grind out, you know, get your 100 levels in a few weeks, because again, 100 levels is not something you can pack on in like a week, right? Like that's a lot of work to put into a weapon to get to level 100. Then you could put on your Adept mods. Well, then of course, if you do that with different times, you can't do it for targeted redaction or, you know, Callus mini tool, whatever, insert whatever perk you want to use, right? Of course, the arguments against this, it would make Adept weapons inferior, right? With the exception of maybe the raid weapons, where if you increase the base stats of them, like maybe then it could be something that's like, oh, okay, like, you know, there's still a reason to do hard raids. But I think for the most part, especially like Nightfall weapons, right? Nightfall weapons would be, I don't want to say like pointless, but I think that Nightfall weapons would need some extra help. And you could start, of course, with Nightfall weapons, giving them that extra bump to stats. You know, your Adept Nightfall weapons get better stats. Your Adept Trials weapons get better stats. And I know that the hesitation I have here with doing the stat increase is in Trials weapons, because Trials weapons are already some insane stat monsters. Like imagine Adept Immortal just automatically gets +5 to all of its stats across the board. Like that would be insanely good. And we already know, even with the nerf to target lock that just happened earlier this week, Adept Immortal is still absolutely bonkers. Okay, it is insanely good. So yeah, that'd be my hang up. But you know, when it comes to the Nightfall weapons, stuff like that, it would kind of null them out. And I think that that's not really an issue with, oh, well, you gave Adept mods to crafted weapons. It's more of an issue of Adept Nightfall weapons. Sometimes, like, I feel like they could do better. You know, Bungie could do something similar to what they do in Voltaglass, where they give you the chance to get a extra perk in columns 3 and 4 instead of just column 3, you know, because I think that's kind of ridiculous. Like you get a Braytech Osprey with, you know, I don't know, quick draw and I don't even know the rolls. These are made up rolls again. Quick draw and cluster bombs. Like neither of those are fantastic on a rocket launcher. And then you get, you know, collective action in the other slot. Like those are by no means like, wow, like those are phenomenal perks or anything like that. But maybe you could get, you know, an extra perk in that last column that makes it a little bit more viable, right? There's extra chance to get the god roll that you're looking for, right? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. I don't know, I just kind of, like I said, I'm out of topics and I need my Sunday break tomorrow. So with that being said, leave comments if you have other topics that you want to talk about. I don't know. Like I said, I'm neither way. It would be nice to have Adept mods on our crafted weapons, but I also understand why they don't. Let me know your thoughts on that, though. Let me know, like, would you want to see Adept mods on crafted weapons? Do you think that would be a good idea? Do you think that would be a bad idea? Do you think that would get out of hand really fast? Because I think that maybe with something like Trials weapons, it would get out of hand really fast, really fast. But it's something I think that players would just have to get the chance to play with and see. Or I'm sorry, when not the crowd weapon, but the stat bumps to the Adept weapons. Stat bumps to the Adept weapons. That would be a little bit crazy, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content, and I'll see y'all on Monday because I'm going into my break time. So yeah, that's it for me, and I'll catch y'all later.